Poverty is a serious problem in many countries around the world. Low incomes, few opportunities, and a struggle to survive are common conditions for many people. Many problems seem to come from not having enough money. So, you might ask, why don't we just print more money and give it to everyone? Wouldn't that make everyone rich and happy? Well, it sounds like a good idea, but it's not that simple. In this video, we're going to find out why governments can't just keep printing more money. First, let's learn what happens when too much money is printed. If you ask your parents or teachers, they might say, it causes inflation. But what does that word even mean? Inflation occurs when prices go up because there is more money but less available goods to buy. Our economy is governed by the laws of supply and demand. If the supply is high and the demand is low, then price will go down. But if the supply is low and demand is high, then the price will go up, and that's called inflation. And when inflation gets really extreme, it's called hyperinflation. To understand more, let's use a simple example with bread. Let's say a loaf of bread costs $1. Now imagine the government prints a lot of money and gives it to everyone. At first, people are happy. They can buy more bread. But soon, the bakery sees people lining up and buying too much bread. They can't make enough to keep up. So they raise the price to $2, then $3. And suddenly, that same loaf of bread costs $10. Why? Because people now have more money, but there's still the same amount of bread. Everyone wants more bread, so they're ready to pay more for it. So, does printing more money make people richer? No, not really. There's still only the same number of loaves. Unless the bakery can bake more bread, prices just go up. Does the bakery make more money? Also, no. Maybe at first, but now they need more wheat to bake more bread. And guess what? All the bakeries also have more money and want to buy more wheat too. But wheat grows on farms, and farms can't grow more wheat overnight. Since there isn't enough wheat, bakeries compete to buy it, and the price of wheat goes up. Because wheat costs more, bakeries have to charge even more for bread just to keep making the same profit. In the end, when we print more money but don't make more things like bread or wheat, prices go up. That's called inflation, where money loses its value and everything costs more. That's why printing more money doesn't fix the problem. Now that you see printing more money sounds like a stupid idea, you might think no country would ever do it. But actually, some countries did print too much money, and everything went wrong. Now let's look at what happened in some countries. Let's look at a real-life story from Zimbabwe, a country in Africa. A long time ago, Zimbabwe was called Rhodesia. After gaining independence, a new government took over. The president, Robert Mugabe, wanted to give land back to local people. So, he took land from white farmers and gave it to others who didn't have farming experience. At first, this sounded like a fair idea, but the new farmers didn't have the training or tools to grow food properly. That meant less food was being produced. Shops started to run out of food. People lost jobs. Other countries stopped helping Zimbabwe. Things got very hard. To try and fix things, the government thought, let's just print more money. So they did. But what happened? Prices started rising very fast. This is called hyperinflation. One year, prices were going up so fast that people needed huge stacks of money just to buy a loaf of bread. Sometimes prices would double in a single day. At one point, Zimbabwe printed a $100 trillion bill. But it still couldn't buy much. People had to carry bags of money just to buy eggs or milk. The money became almost useless. Let's take a look at Argentina, a real and recent example. Over the past few years, Argentina has faced serious economic problems: rising debt, high unemployment, and a weak economy. To try and fix this, the government started printing more and more money. But here's the thing. Printing money doesn't magically make a country richer. In fact, it usually does the opposite. As Argentina printed more pesos to cover public spending and repay debts, the value of each peso dropped. This led to high inflation. Prices of everyday items like food, gas, and rent started going up fast. In 2023, Argentina's inflation reached over 100%, one of the highest in the world. That means something that cost $10 at the start of the year could cost over $20 just months later. People's savings lost value, and it became harder to afford basic things. Many rushed to buy US dollars to protect their money, but this made the peso drop even more. The more money they printed, the less it was worth. And the cycle continued. So what can we learn from Argentina? Money printing might seem like a quick fix, but if there's nothing to back it up, like growth, productivity, or trust, it usually leads to inflation and economic pain. Argentina clearly reminds us that we cannot get out of a crisis by printing. Now let's look at Venezuela, a country in South America. Venezuela has the largest oil reserves in the world, even more than Saudi Arabia. For many years, they made a lot of money by selling oil. The government used that money to give out free services and goods like food, fuel, and housing at very low prices. But the country depended only on oil and didn't build other businesses or factories. Then, in 2014, oil prices dropped a lot. Venezuela stopped earning as much money. But the government still wanted to give people free things. So, what did they do? You guessed it. They printed more money to keep paying for everything. Soon there was too much money and not enough food or goods in the shops. Prices went crazy. Things that cost $1 started costing 1,000 or even 1 million bolivars. People waited in long lines to get food. Shelves were empty. Many people had to leave the country to find a better life. So, printing too much money usually makes things worse. It leads to inflation, where prices go up and your money buys you less and less. In the end, it doesn't help people feel richer. It just makes everything more expensive and harder to get. Some people wonder, why not print money to pay other countries we owe? Well, that doesn't work either. Other countries know when you're printing too much money. Through economic reports, currency market, and inflation indicators. They'll stop trusting your money and stop trading with you. They might even charge you more or stop lending you money at all. It's like giving someone fake monopoly money. They won't accept it. So, what's the better solution? Governments can help by creating more jobs, supporting education, and helping businesses grow. That way, people earn real money by working. When people have jobs and make things, the economy grows in a healthy way. They can also collect taxes fairly and use that money to help schools, hospitals, and roads. So the next time someone says, just print more money, you'll know why that's not a good idea. If you like this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more easy and fun videos that explain the world around us. Bye for now.